This is the Writers Podcast, a Writers After Dark radio production, bringing you the best in writing advice, news, trends, and interviews. Hosted by award-winning authors S.K. Anthony and Raymond Esposito.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Writers Podcast. I'm S.K. Anthony.
And I'm that other guy.
Yes, the other guy we like to call Raymond Esposito.
Yeah, that's it.
How you doing?
I am excellent. How are you this holiday season?
Well, I'm still working on my intentions from 2015. But other than that, I feel fantastic.
I feel really close to finishing up everything I wanted to get accomplished in 2015 myself.
You were supposed to ask me why I feel fantastic.
Why do you feel fantastic?
Oh, it's been a few weeks since I started thinking about my new workout routine. And I figured as long as I keep planning and not giving up on it, I'm really good to go. In fact, I feel like I can go shop for size 2 dresses already.
That's what I love about planning out your resolutions. It feels like you're actually making progress and doing something. It's half the fun. In fact, I think planning your resolutions are more fulfilling than actually trying to complete them. Because then where the rubber hits the road, now you got to actually get something done. I saw this interesting article, and it was the 31 questions to ask yourself before setting your resolutions.
What's that about?
Yeah, 31 questions. So by the time I'm done overthinking the answers to all of these questions, it'll probably be around March. And then I can start planning, and I guess I could get based on 31 questions, I guess I could get everything all set and ready to go by June, the summer solstice.
Well, yes. Why not start your year in the middle of it? Seems legit.
Well, January 1st is completely arbitrary, and I don't know who came up with the idea to do resolutions New Year's Day. I'm sure there's people who, have a nice quiet time at home, aren't alcoholics, and wake up, New Year's Day ready to go. And then the rest of us who, as soon as I get through this
hungover,
as soon as I get through this hangover, as soon as I finish all of the holiday candy and all that stuff, I guess I can start on these things. I don't know.
But of course, there's that whole, let me start fresh. It's a new year. It's a new beginning. It's a new time to do that. But it could also be the fact that, hey, we just spent the last 2 weeks drinking and eating everything in sight. So it's a good way to wind down, maybe.
Yeah, good Lord, not January 1st. That's just, that's painful. You've already lost day one. And if I don't know when New Year's falls this year, but if January 1st is, God forbid, like a Thursday or a Friday,
yeah,
you're not going to start the weekend.
No,
you might as well start on Monday.
Yeah, so you have to wait for Monday, obviously. Like I think that rule, it would be illegal to start on Friday.
So you could lose like 4 days right off the shot. Right off the bat, you're going to lose just maybe 4 or 5 days.
I agree. Well, I don't know that. Are there really people who would go to the gym on January 1st? I don't think so. The gym is closed anyway, so the 2nd.
It's closed for New Year's Day. Yeah,
Even
I guess you could
now
get there on the 2nd. Gym memberships for me, that's my favorite charity. In fact, statistically, if everybody who had a gym membership actually showed up at their gym, the gym could there's no way that they could support all of those people.
No capacity, right?
For someone like me who regularly goes to the gym, I just don't even bother the first 2 weeks of January because it's going to be full. There's going to be a lot of people who've never worked out before. It's actually kind of fun. I've popped in, not really seriously thinking I was going to work out, but just to watch all of the crazy antics as people try to figure out what a machine does and what they're supposed to be doing with it.
Well, listen, December just started for us. And the fact that I've already been, working out in my head for 2 weeks before December started. By the time January 1st comes, the first 2 weeks of January, I am going to be on point. I'm going to be, yes, I'm mentally. I'm going to be
fit.
Yes, I will. I'm going to have that attitude of, I'm better than you, obviously. Because you're only now thinking about it. It's been on my mind for a while.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this since Thanksgiving. I am mentally fit to work out. I am ready to go. I've been living the dream of what I'm going to look like this summer.
Yes. All
Yeah.
joke aside, mentally it should start mentally, right? It's not just the dream or the hope of, oh, yes, that's right, January 2nd, I'm gonna go for it. You actually really have to be in a good place for it and really think through your routine and plan it out. I know I'm making fun of it, but I do think you have to be mentally prepared for it, like realistically.
I think there's two types of people in this world: those people who make resolutions and those people who don't. I mean, I kind of admire the person who says, yeah, I don't do that, I don't waste my time with it. But on the other hand, I have an inherent mistrust, because why aren't you trying to get better? What's wrong with you?
Are they douchebags, you think?
They could be douchebags. But I also think, as you know, we're writers, we lie for a living, and there certainly is no reason that our resolutions shouldn't be perfectly written, and then in the end just turn out to be a book of lies. And that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, so we're telling ourselves the stories like, I am going to
Right.
this and that.
Right. Hey,
uh,
and by the way, I hate the word resolution, and I don't even use it anymore.
that's right. You use the word intentions. I loved
Mhm.
it since you know, met what, 4 or 5 years ago? I forget already. You had mentioned that, or actually, I read it on your blog at the time, and I was like, "This is genius," because you had a great explanations as to why intentions is. I don't know. Why don't you explain it?
Yeah. It will not be as, whatever I say right now won't be as smart as what I wrote in the article, but I can kind of, paraphrase it for you. It's the belief that, like, a word like resolution, words have embedded meanings, and resolution is described as the act of finding an answer or solution to a conflict or problem. And conflicts and problems are inherently not joyous or celebratory words. Like, we don't think in terms of solving a problem as something that suggests advancement. So I think resolution is just the wrong word. It's a
Right.
negative word to start off the year.
Yeah, because really all we're doing is just trying to change for the better. That doesn't mean that there actually was a problem. It's just we want to do something positive for ourselves.
But aren't resolutions just filled with all kinds of negative
It does.
connotations? Like,
Yes.
what sounds worse than my New Year's resolution is to stick to this diet? I mean, diet is die with a T, right? It's all the negative. So I like intentions. What are my intentions this year? How am I going to advance? How am I going to be
Get
a better
fit,
person?
get healthy, keep thinking about working out.
Yeah.
Maybe
It-
I'll actually work out. One of my one of my intentions. I'm looking forward to being more frustrating and in more. No, sorry, not frustrating. Maybe to you. Um,
yeah,
I'm
you're
looking.
definitely going to be more frustrating. You're going to
I'm
be
look.
any less.
I'm looking forward to being more frustrated and living in self doubt in 2018. You know why?
You like to be depressed?
No, because those are actually the building blocks of every creative endeavor.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, so I'm gonna put that down. I want to be frustrated and off put by my own work, so I'll do better. Mm,
Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but that probably means that I'm getting the words out.
it probably does. I started this year and I wrote down, all the lofty goals, and I'm gonna write 3 novels this year, and I looked at that and I was like, what the fuck? No, I'm not. I am not going to write 3 novels this year. Who,
Yeah,
like, what am I, some
me
kind of
too.
Superman? What my goal is? Unlike 2017, I actually want to write a novel
One,
this
yes.
year. I just want to get one. If I get one done by June, maybe I'll write two. But
Yeah.
and
Me
that's
too.
why I go back to that intention thing. Intentions got such a bad rap because some Puritan came up with this saying: "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." You know what? I love that idea, because if you fail, no, you're going to be in great company then, I guess.
Yes. Well, we write. I want to also write one book. I think one of the problems is we put so much pressures on ourselves to get so many books out because everyone else is doing it or because we think we can. And the problem with you and I is that we're such perfectionists that
Mhm.
just doesn't work. And the pressure just makes it worse. There is no rule that we have to write 10 books a year. Like, that's ridiculous. You write at your own pace. So for me, my intention is to be more accepting of that, understanding that I'm not someone who writes a lot of books that often. And, actually, neither are you.
No, you're right at your own pace. That's what I love about intentions, because I do believe to truly be fulfilled, we need to be able to fail and to improvise. And resolutions always present this fixed finish line.
But also living, as far as that, living by your own rules. Really, don't give in to peer pressure. Back to the whole book thing, when people are like, I want to read your book, I want to read your book. So, and you and I have had this discussion where we wonder, well, do you want me to put out just anything to tell you what happens, or do you want me to give you the best story I can?
Right.
You know?
I fall back to, I'm going to give you the best story I can, and that may take some time. But, one of my favorite life rules is anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Yes, of course.
Which
I
isn't
love
mine.
it.
I think it's Steven Tyler's from, or somebody said it other than me. But I do kind of live my life. If a Twinkie's worth eating, it's certainly worth eating the entire box.
Yeah, pizza. I'm good with that.
You talk about the writing piece of it, and the pressure to get something done or to get a lot done. I saw somebody who said they were going to write 8 books this year, which is, I don't know that I want to read 7 of them, but a lot of that comes down to motivation, or people talk about motivation, writers talk about motivation. And I think that motivation is sort of an unnecessary step in achieving your goals.
How so?
One theory is that the way the brain works is talking about a goal to the brain is just as the same as if you did it.
Yeah.
So if you
Oh,
go out and you announce your intentions, I'm going to do this, and like, your brain feels like you've talked about it to the point where it literally feels like mission accomplished, and you lose your motivation. So maybe keep that stuff to yourself.
yeah.
Is a good start.
I'll say 2 things on that one. Well, that kind of makes me feel like that's what's happening with me and my planning to work out, that I feel great about it.
Sure. Yeah.
But on the other hand, personally, I can't go out there and say that I'm doing something, because once I do, like, that's the law. I owe the world something, and I
Yeah.
never commit, because I know as soon as I say that, I don't know.
Well, think about, we did an episode on NaNoWriMo, and think about how many people announced they were doing it, they were going to hit it, and then how many of them silently, like, you go through Facebook, right, and call all of those people out on, hey, I didn't hear back from you. How'd you do on this?
Oh, wow.
Talking about it is not necessarily a good thing, because really, habit is the workhorse of success. Forget about the motivation. Just go do something every day,
Yeah.
and at some point in time, you'll actually be done with it.
You know what? That reminds me of another resolution I should have. Intention. Sorry, intention. Which would help with writing, I assume. And to create a habit, I should try my best to hit the snooze button just once, not twice or 3 times. And then morning, just get up, snooze it once, then get up.
A lot of those, like this time of year, you see so many secrets of success.
Oh,
And I saw this great article, and it was about what successful people eat for breakfast,
yeah.
as if like the difference between eggs and waffles is going to make you more successful. But one of the really interesting things, and one of the things I hate about these success stories, is Jeff Bezos from Amazon.
Right.
He's got this policy. He makes no meetings. He does nothing scheduled in the morning so that he can sit down and have breakfast with his family. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, Jeff, if your factory worker, if your worker in the distribution center said, hey, dude, guess what? I'm not going to be in at 8 o'clock because I schedule time for breakfast with
Yes.
my family, that person would be freaking fired. So these things don't really work.
Well, no, it's easy to say that that's what you do, because now you are already successful. You have people working under you. So, yes, now you can actually indulge in that time. Did you, Jeff, do that when you were building up your business, when you were getting to the point where you are now? Probably not.
No, it's like asking how successful people spend their vacation. That dude who owns Virgin Airlines, like, he spends his vacations on his island.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't own an island. How am I supposed to spend mine?
Exactly. But yeah, that's why the success stories or the secrets to success don't really work, because when they're giving those advice, they're just telling you what they're doing now, which is not helpful.
Right.
Because, we're not starting from your point.
You can't say I'm not reading email till 11 o'clock. If you work in an office and you got to be there at 8 o'clock, your boss is going to fire you. They're going to say, what, are you kidding me?
Right.
But, different topic for a different time.
Yeah.
My whole point is I think that resolutions and motivation, those two things, those aren't the ways to have a successful year. I think you have to build good habits slowly, one day at a time. Breathing is a habit, success is a habit, and so is failure. So
Yeah.
you kind of choose the habit you're going to have. But more importantly, I think every intention needs to fit the big picture. You have to consider each intention, resolution, whatever you want to call it, each thing you write down should be considered in terms of one question. Will doing this really make me happier and more fulfilled? Or is this just another one of those shoulds in my life? Well, you should do this, you should do that.
You know, something that would make me very happy is to, spend more time on my phone, less
Mm.
less time with people. And based on this year's activity, I'm gonna totally achieve that. So yes, actually, one of my intentions does make me happy, and I feel
More fulfilled.
more fulfilled through that.
Yeah, certainly spending more time on social media is going to make everybody happier.
No, not social. No, I'm trying to figure out when they're gonna see that social media actually makes people depressed.
There's a lot of studies that do show nobody walks away from social media feeling good, and we know for a fact people only post the good things about their life on social media, and a lot of those things are just contradictory. I have the best spouse in the world, except next week I'm saying negative things about them. So
Yeah. Well,
uh,
and if they're not doing just the positive things, then they're just giving you half-ass complaints about, my life sucks, but they will never tell you why. And all they want is attention. They want, oh, boo-hoo. Why? Are you okay? But you're such a great person. And
you know what, I think social media is what we all look like drunk. Like, I think you can tell by the way the stuff that someone posts on social media is a good indicator of what they'd be like at a party if they drank too much. This guy's talking about freaking politics. This chick's ragging about her husband. This one's getting deep and philosophical. And oh, look, there's the funny person. That's the person I'm going to go hang out with.
yeah, me too.
Let's just stick to kitten videos and interactions and be positive. Let's just all be fake friends on Facebook and say nothing but good things about each other. But getting back to intentions and the resolutions of the new year, one of the things that I found is I have to hate more things.
Yes, you do.
I really do. Because I really have to hate something before I then love it.
Yes, so get your hate on.
That used to be my recipe, by the way, for women I dated.
You hated them first, or do you love?
I had to find them to be cold and bitter, and then that was like the thing that became attractive.
Lucky
It was a
them.
good dating strategy.
Was it though? How did
Well,
how
no.
did they end up?
Yeah, well, there was a few breakups and at least one divorce, but yeah, no, it did seem to work though. It was exciting times once I decided I loved it.
Well, there you go. You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
We need to become famous this year. But how do you think we can do that? This is cheap.
Well, I have one idea.
What's up?
The possibility of turning our podcast into a live show. That technology now exists, and I really want to do a radio show.
I know, I did see that.
I
When
wanna
we
do
were
it
talking
live.
about it, and I'm like, we have to do it. And of course, the idea is, hey guys, we want to do a live show on like the first episode of the year. Call in.
Because this is kind of safe. I can say not know what I'm going to say, and I can just edit that out, and we're good. We sound really good.
Yeah.
But a live show, like, you just got to be ready to go. So that's a way to become famous. Did you have something else in mind?
No. Well, that's why I was asking you what you thought, like how we could do that. The only problem is, even if we did the live show and we became, how exactly are we promoting?
I was thinking of releasing your nude pics.
Yeah, I mean that's a backup.
Yeah, I mean that might work.
And
Or mine.
especially now that I've been thinking about working.
Yeah, you've been thinking like this is before she was thinking about working out. This is after. SK started thinking about, look at the tone. Look at those abs. I should do that too. I'm gonna do my before I thought about it and after I thought about it pictures.
Like, notice how in this picture I am just relaxed eating, and in this other picture I put the pizza down and I'm sucking it in, which is why I look like I'm not breathing.
So how else can we make ourselves famous?
Becoming bestsellers. I do want to make my writing more of a priority. I know, once again, one more year where I want to make it a priority. But without those lofty goals of I will write 3 books. We had that conversation with Anorimo, like we mentioned, and seriously, just really being realistic about it and saying, hey, 1 week out of the month, completely make that your priority. That should work. It's just I know we have so much going on, and everybody does.
Listen, I honestly, Kat, I know your life and your schedule pretty intimately, and I don't know that you don't make writing a priority. You just have a ton of stuff going on.
Well,
So when you talk about resolutions and recipe to fail, I truly wish you the best in getting more writing in, but you're juggling a lot, business and kids and a husband and all of those things.
my online husband too. Yes, you're very high maintenance.
My spouse works a lot, so you've got to be there for me.
Great. Another thing I think we should do together is let's finish like one chapstick. Not the same one, like you do yours and I do mine. I always lose them before I finish it.
I have a chapstick that I put in my briefcase in 2000 because I was traveling a lot, and I still have that. That chapstick is still. In fact, when we were at the book fair, you might have used it, not knowing you were using a 17-year-old chapstick.
Great. That's
Just
fantastic.
thought I'd share that with you. I don't think it has any diseases,
Well,
but
I'm still alive, so that's a good thing.
yeah, and that the last person who used it was that stripper in Atlanta, and I think she was okay.
Great. Maybe that's
Explains that thing you got going on your
that
lip.
explains. I have nothing on my lip. Now I want to go take a bunch of selfies and duck face
Right.
pictures and
Nothing.
put it all over social media so everyone can see that is a lie.
No, she has nothing on her lip except chapstick.
Speaking of automatically, I need to put on chapstick. Is it a conversation? What is it?
So, how do you make intentions that you can live with? Well, I have a couple ideas on that topic. One is you should write your bio, and the bio should be I am. It should be an I am bio. I am this, it's your personal biography.
Yeah.
I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I truly believe writing who you want to be in the present tense, it's a good start to defining what your intentions are, because it's more the big picture stuff. Who do you want to be?
It's a little bit like the dream board, except that you're stating that you are. Yeah, I see that how that would work. I mean, you will start acting that way.
Yeah, if you want to be in great shape, I am a gym rat, because then you start acting like, well, how does a gym rat, you just act that role. What does a gym rat do? Well, to be in great shape, they go to the gym every day, and you start acting that. I do believe in the positive I am type of bio. Stephen Covey says, write your obituary.
Yeah.
That's great. But, most of us think we're dying sometime in, far, far future, not tomorrow.
Right, which is why it's easy to procrastinate and let go of that. I like the idea of writing my bio, but I don't know what to write. So if you would just write my bio for me,
Sure.
that would be great.
I'll just tell you who you are.
Thank you.
Give you your mission. I also think that you should kill off everything that you're doing for others.
All right, I'm gonna leave you in this studio all by yourself right now, so you handle it.
Kids might be the exception. I know a lot of moms and dads who probably devote a little bit too much time, and I raised 5 of them, a little bit too much time to their kids and a little too many sacrifices. And that's not what
Am I one of those?
You are. You're a good mom. You're an excellent mom. You do a lot, but killing off everything that you're doing for others is all the shoulds. You might be doing it for the legacy of a dead parent. You might be doing it for that little voice in your head. You might be doing it because you think it's I should. And I think people, to really feel fulfillment, need to do the things that really make a change in their life and do less for others and a little bit more positive stuff for themselves.
Well, that's one of the problems with the writing thing, right? And I keep coming back to this because we have this, I should do this because people are waiting. The author signing that we went to, and we did not go there as authors. We went there as podcasters, and we did our interviews and everything else. And I met a few people there that knew my work, and they were asking me, where's chaotic? And that pressure For one, wow, it felt great and I felt motivated, but at the same time, it absolutely, I felt like I was paralyzed too. So it's one of those things where, yes, we don't have to do things that people want us to because we should do it for them. I think part of that was reminding myself that Static and Kinetic I wrote for myself, and I want to continue writing for myself. And, and all the other whips that I have going, when I do it for myself, it works out better.
I also believe a big thing is that people should practice their ability to forgive the day
Yeah.
and try again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Yes.
make these resolutions or intentions or whatever you want to call them, we all have off days. We're all going to cheat. We're all going to not write. We're not going to go to the gym. There's going to be a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch. Like, don't even bother making the excuses.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that earlier, and it was just a matter of, hey, forgive yourself.
Just
Really.
forgive yourself for everything and try to do better tomorrow. That's all. That's all you have to do.
If you were telling if your kid made a mistake, if your kid didn't do something, that's what you would tell the kid, right? Forgive yourself. It's okay.
And definitely break it down to small steps, not big wins. I'm going to lose 50. I'm not personally, but I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. That is a great resolution. That's fantastic. But you know what? How about starting with this month? I'm going to make better choices and I'm going to lose a couple pounds. That's a small win that you can really celebrate.
Yeah.
Nobody loses 50 pounds in a month. So don't set your sights. That may be your long-term goal, but big deal if you can't get the small win.
And that's how you crash and you get back to it, which I know from experience.
Yeah, we set up these resolutions where we fail once and we quit forever. If you say, I'm going to go to the gym every day this year.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't go tomorrow, you failed.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I like to talk about creating resolutions or intentions where you can improvise, you can fail, you can make mistakes, and you just get back on it the next day. All right, well, today's a write-off, but tomorrow I'll do better.
Right.
And then wake up and actually do better.
It's not what you didn't do, it's what you do next that matters. So the good news is we have just a few more days till we can cross off Don't Die from our 2017 checklist. So I have that going for me.
I have Don't Die and Don't Get Arrested. And then, there's like two things I'm almost 100% certain I can check off at the end of the year.
That would make me very happy.
So do you have any sage advice on intentions people should commit to this year?
Yes. Do not be convinced by that 2 or 3 a.m. infomercial you see on TV. It's not true. It won't work.
Do not buy Beachbody or any of those things. I write like no one's going to read it because the truth is, no one probably will. That's negative, but be yourself.
Yeah. Hey, when you're setting your goals, aim low. So in case you go over that, then you can just give yourself a high five and say, yes, I'm an overachiever.
You are a winner.
Yes.
I would say treat everyone you meet like they just had the day that you had.
I like it. You're so much more serious than me. My other advice is just, try not to drunk dial, text, or Snapchat. But if you do, send it to us.
If you've got inappropriate pictures, you can also email those to us.
Yes, we will use those as our promo images.
And this is one of my favorite ones. Remember that the things you believe in do not have more value than the people who don't believe in them. So in addition to wishing you a happy holiday and a happy New Year's, we're going to leave you with this quote by Joey Adams.
May all your troubles last as long as your New Year's resolution.
Thank you for listening to the Writers Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. For more articles, news and advice, visit our website, writersafterdark.net, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The Writers Podcast is a Writers After Dark radio production. Executive producers SK Anthony and Raymond Esposito. Copyright 2017.